Hey YouTubers, we're doing our predictions for UFC 157, which is Ronda Rousey versus Carmouche. It's going to be an exciting night of fights, all the way from the main card, all the way to the first bout of the evening. So let's first start off with Josh Kosek versus Robbie Lawler. Josh Kosek, I think his last fight he lost against Johnny Hendricks, and then we have Robbie Lawler, who he just lost his fight in Strikeforce to some guy I forgot. But you know, this is the wind of individuals of Strikeforce fighters coming over into the UFC. So this isn't Robbie Lawler's first time in the UFC, but it's kind of a welcome back type of scenario. So in this situation, we got Robbie Lawler, who is is a heavy-handed fighter, and then you have Josh Kosek, who uses more wrestling to use his wrestling to set up his strikes. Well, in this instance, I believe Robbie Lawler is going to be put on his back multiple times. We all know Josh Kosek is trying to, show that he has his stand-up skills and use his stand-up to show individuals that, hey, I'm just not a wrestler, I'm a mixed martial artist. And I still think that's going to come into play. You know, Josh Kosek is going to go in there and choose his shots wisely. But I believe that his wrestling in the end is going to allow him to set up those strikes. And he's going to use a lot of ground and pound because for some reason Robbie Lawler has an extremely hard time on his back. And I know Josh Kosek and his team know that. So they're going to take advantage of that. At least that's what I think. They should take advantage of that. And it's going to be a situation to where he's going to be on his back multiple times in the match so that at least Josh Kosek wins the match by a decision. And that's what I think is going to happen. He's going to win the match by a decision. So Josh Kosek, unanimous decision. Then we have McGee versus Josh Neir. This fight here is, both of these guys are pretty evenly matched. They're both coming off of a loss. Their striking is pretty even. I think the only difference is that McGee has probably the better wrestling, and I believe that is what's going to edge him closer to a win than it would Josh Neir. So I think McGee is going to use his wrestling to dominate this match. Not dominate, let me take that back. Not dominate, but to edge out a win. And that's what I see happening. So I have McGee winning this one by decision. Then we have Faber versus Ivan Minar. He's a Japanese, I think he's a Japanese wrestler. I'm probably incorrect about that. No, he looks like he's fighting out of Canada. So my bad. But I believe he is an Asian fighter. But he's fighting out of Canada. Then we have Faber. I think he just he's trying to get back into title contention, and I think this is going to be an easy run for him. I believe both of these guys have fought previously, and I believe Ivan was disqualified for doing a soccer kick or something like that. But previously, even before that, he was losing to Faber, and I believe this Faber in the UFC is 10 times better than Faber that he fought. And I don't believe Ivan has really fought top tier individuals of Faber's caliber. So I believe this is going to be an easy fight for Faber, and I think that he's going to go in there and win, be able to set up his strikes, be able to take him down at will, go for his quote unquote his guillotine, and I just think that Ivan's going to get run over on this one, and he's not going to get knocked out. He's probably not going to get submitted, but I believe that he's going to get out wrestled and just ran over, and Faber's going to win by a decision. So we have the next fight, which is Lyoto Machida versus Dan Henderson. We all know Dan Henderson is coming back from a knee injury. He was supposed to go against John Jones, but that didn't work out because of the injury. Then we have Lyoto Machida, who is, quote unquote, trying to get back into title contention. He wants to fight John Jones again. In this fight, we all know Dan Henderson is a wrestler, and once again, he uses the right overhand to really, put fear in opponents and dominate opponents. But in this situation, when you're going against Lyoto Machida, who really does a great job against wrestlers. I mean, Ryan Bader, Randy Couture, Rashad Evans. He really does a spectacular job against other wrestlers. And his wrestling defense and using his footwork to set up shots and whatnot, he just does a great job. A great job of doing that. And his accuracy is excellent, Lyoto Machida, as I'm talking about. And that's because he trains with individuals whose accuracy is probably one of the best, and that's Anderson Silva. His accuracy is extremely high. And Lyoto Machida, when he strikes just like a snake, like a coiled up snake, boom, he hits you. It's going to hit you. When he strikes, he's going to hit. And I believe the same thing is going to happen in this match. I believe he's going to pretty much stay away from the shots that Dan Henderson is going to try to attempt. And when he tries to attempt them, he's going to make him pay for it. So that he will be afraid to make those shots by going for a single leg, double leg, or any other type of takedown that Dan Henderson is going to try. Using the overhand right to try to control and put fear in the opponent, especially in Lyoto Machida, I don't believe it's going to work too well for Dan Henderson. But the simple fact that Lyoto's stance is pretty far back. I mean, in a sense, Lyoto should be able to see the overhand right if it's coming, or when he's trying to set it up. His stance is pretty far back. If you guys don't know anything about the certain discipline, but the karate discipline is the stance, the body is pretty far back. It's not like boxing where you're up there, or judo, or any of those other type of disciplines. The stance is far back. His body is far back, meaning his head is going to be further away too. So in this one, I'm going to step out on a limb, and I'm going to say Dan Henderson is going to get knocked out on this one. I'm going to say it, guys. I believe that Lyoto Machida is going to be the first guy to knock out Dan Henderson. That's just my view, but I think the youth, the technical ability, how good he is with the wrestlers, how he makes wrestlers pay for taking shots, and Dan Henderson's old. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. He can still compete, but he's older, he's slower, and those things are a bad combination going against Lyoto Machida, and I think he's going to get knocked out. So Lyoto Machida wins by KO. Then we have Ronda Rousey versus Liz Carmouche. Now, we all know Ronda Rousey's game. She's been working on her stand-up, but she's primarily a submission person. She's won all of her matches through submission. She doesn't look to be, at least her last fight that she has, she doesn't look to be too comfortable with getting hit. She tends to, when she gets hit, do the shy away thing. I'm not gonna say I saw her close her eyes, but she seems to be like the, step, push back, look away type thing when you're getting hit, which is a no-no when it comes to striking. You just have to take the hits. You can't be in a situation to where you don't see a punch coming. And I think Ronda Rousey, at that point, her last fight that I saw her fight, she was still shy with getting hit with the exchange. I don't know if that's the factor now, because I've been seeing her in the countdown shows and stuff working on her striking. They haven't been really showing her working, jiu-jitsu or judo or anything like that. They've just been showing her doing, hitting her coach's punching mitts and whatnot, and doing combinations. Then we have Carmouche, who who, she has decent grappling skills. But, Ronda Rousey is compared to Carmouche's grappling skills is like on a total different level than Ronda is on a totally different level than Carmouche. So we all know that the grappling is not going to be Carmouche's. It's not going to be her specialty. It's not going to be something that she's going to outshine Ronda Rousey in. But what I think Carmouche's skill is that she's stronger. She's probably stronger. She has more explosiveness when it comes to the striking ability than Ronda Rousey. And all of the fights that I've seen of Carmouche, she seems to, if she's able to keep distance and she's able to control the pace of the fight, and she's able to outstrike her opponents. And I believe that will be the situation in here. You have to make Ronda Rousey very uncomfortable. You have to go in there and you have to dominate and control the fight and let her know I can punch you and touch you whenever I want to. And I believe that is the way Liz can win this fight. If she's able to go in there and say, you're not going to take me down, you're not going to do this, I'm going to put you up against the cage, I'm going to, hit you at will, and you have to take Ronda into the deep rounds. You really have to take her into 3-4 rounds, of just battering her, getting her against the cage and punching her and doing all this other stuff. And there's not really too many individuals who I believe can do that. I think Cyborg's one of them, and and maybe Carmouche. If she really stays on top of her game, she has to be focused in this one to win this one. But in the end, I truly think it's going to be too much of a task for Carmouche. I think that Ronda's going to be able to take her down at will in the first or second round. And with Carmouche having such a limited grappling ability, I just don't see Carmouche even being able to put up a fight when she's on the ground. It's a shark. It's like Ronda's the shark, and Ronda's a shark, and Carmouche is a lion or something like that in the ocean. When you get to the ground, it's really crazy. But Ronda wins this one, you guessed it, by submission, and I'm gonna even call this one armbar. She's gonna win by armbar. Isn't that a surprise? So, guys, anyway, as normal, please rate, subscribe, and comment on my videos. It really helps my channel out. And let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys think are gonna win these fights? What fight are you guys most excited to see? Is it the main event, or is it something on the preliminary card? I just want to hear you guys' opinion on what's the most exciting fight. Also, too, what fight are you guys really wanting to happen this year? Is it the John Jones versus Anderson Silva versus GSP? Because I really want to do a video of a hypothetical situation, a match that hasn't been made, but you guys are really excited to see. So, as normal, guys, thanks for watching, and peace.